XRP lawyer and attorney says SEC may settle in only one scenario. John Deaton, the attorney who's representing the token holders in the XRP litigation, is of the opinion that the United States Securities and Exchange Commission and Ripple will not attempt to reach a settlement. His comment was based on the argument that the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, which is led by Chair Gary Gensler, is also engaged in a conflict with other cryptocurrency platforms. Attorney Deaton contrasted the position taken by the United States Securities and Exchange Commission against cryptocurrency companies to a conflict that is similar to a war. In addition to that, he brought up the measure that Senator Elizabeth Warren of the United States of America has proposed to prevent the alleged misuse of cryptocurrencies in illicit activities such as money laundering, drug trafficking, and violating sanctions. In a podcast, Deaton stated that the United States Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, would be in a precarious position if it were to pursue a settlement in the complaint regarding XRP and then later enforce regulation on other cryptocurrencies. It is a war among us. The bill was just introduced by Elizabeth Warren. In the United States, it is prohibited to use Bitcoin. The attorney, on the other hand, stated that the only circumstance in which the two parties would be forced to reach a settlement would be if Coinbase were to win their petition to dismiss or succeed in doing so partially. Coinbase was accused by the Securities and Exchange Commission of operating an unregistered securities exchange and facilitate the trading of crypto assets that were regarded to be securities in June of 2023. The cryptocurrency exchange, in response, submitted a move to dismiss the case, alleging that the crypto assets it holds do not meet the criteria for securities and that the Securities and Exchange Commission does not have the authority to oversee the cryptocurrency market. Institutional transactions of XRP, the attorney brought up a case that was brought before the United States Supreme Court against Morrison. In that case, the court declared that the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, only has jurisdiction in the United States. As a result, this might protect the majority of the token sales that Ripple conducted outside of the United States, while leaving out a small portion of the sales to institutional investors in the United States, as noted by Dead. Analyst Torres, the judge who presided over the summary judgment that was issued in July 2023, decided in favor of Ripple with regard to the sale of tokens to retail customers. The Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC of the United States of America, suffered yet another defeat in court on December 19, 2023, when it was presented with a petition for review of its rule regarding share repurchase data. Ripple's partial victory in the XRP litigation is the most significant of the agency's several legal losses in cryptocurrency, which comes after the agency has suffered multiple losses in the cryptocurrency market. Bitcoin whales return as BlackRock makes approval of Bitcoin ETF a key priority revocation of the SEC's final rule, Judge Jerry Yeo. Myth of the United States Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit issued a ruling on December 19 that decided in favor of allowing the motion and removing the rule that required issuers to report day-to-day share repurchase data every quarter. Amendments concerning disclosure requirements in relation to securities repurchases were approved by the Securities and Exchange Commission on May 3, 2023. As part of the new regulations, issuers were required to report daily repurchase activities on a quarterly or semi-annual basis, depending on the sort of issuer they were. On the 31st of October, 2023, the court announced its decision in response to the petition that was submitted by the United States Chamber of Commerce against the new rule. In addition to failing to reply to the comments made by petitioners and failing to do a cost-benefit analysis, the court stated that the Securities and Exchange Commission operated in a manner that was both arbitrary and capricious, which is a violation of the Administrative Procedure Act. Judge Smith allowed the motion to vacate the rule in the most recent ruling, citing the fact that the SEC's time to reply or oppose the rule has now passed. The phrase voluntary and capricious, a group of justices from the United States Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit found in the complaint filed by Grayscale that the decision made by the Securities and Exchange Commission to either refuse Grayscale clearance for a spot Bitcoin exchange traded fund was arbitrary and capricious. Following a comparison of the SEC's past rulings concerning the approval of Bitcoin futures exchange traded funds, SATFSF, the judges referred to the SEC's actions as being arbitrary. They claim that the SEC did not acknowledge the financial and mathematical relationship that exists between the spot market and the futures market. As a result, Grayscale's petition to review the denial of clearance for a spot Bitcoin exchange-traded fund was taken into consideration. A lawyer who supports Ripple, John Detton, made it clear that XRP is not a security. Nonetheless, it is possible that it could be called a security if it were traded on the primary market. In spite of the fact that he continues to maintain his position that digital assets such as Bitcoin and Ripple do not qualify as securities according to the Howey test, Deaton acknowledges that there are circumstances in which they could be sold as securities. In this scenario, the Securities and Exchange Commission would be required to investigate each and every transaction that took place in both the primary and secondary markets. There is a cache here. In the next half year, the CEO of Ripple anticipates a final court decision. Two possible outcomes that could result from the Ripple trial. The chief executive officer of Ripple continues to have a positive outlook regarding the cryptocurrency ecosystem. It is anticipated that the lawsuit filed by Ripple will have significant repercussions for the cryptocurrency industry. 6 months from now, the CEO of Ripple anticipates a final court decision. The chief executive officer of Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, announced during the Dubai FinTech Summit that he anticipates the final court ruling to be handed down within the next 6 months. In order to defend itself against the lawsuit, Ripple has already spent a total of $200 million for the purpose of avoiding falling behind other nations in the use of blockchain technology. Garlinghouse has requested that the authorities in the United States give regulatory clarification. He acknowledged that the case has been both expensive and distracting, and he expressed regret that other businesses could be forced to deal with the same difficulties with the Securities and Exchange Commission. A ripple caused by Brad consequences that could result from the Ripple lawsuit. If it is established that XRP was offered as a security, then the outcome of the action against Ripple could be different, according to the predictions of the experts. Therefore, one of the outcomes that could be anticipated is a settlement between the Securities and Exchange Commission and Ripple. According to Deaton, the idea that tokens constitute investment contracts is not only erroneous, but has also not been addressed by the Securities and Exchange Commission. According to the judge who presided over the recent lawsuit between the SEC and Elbri, the secondary sales of Elbri tokens do not fall within the category of security sales. The comparison of exchange is unwaveringly optimistic about the cryptocurrency ecosystem. Ripple's CEO, as the utility and problem-solving capabilities of the cryptocurrency ecosystem continue to rapidly improve, Garlinghouse is hopeful about the long-term prospects of the ecosystem. On the other hand, the current market mood for XRP is pessimistic, and it has dropped by 6 over the course of the past 7 days, and it is currently trading at $425,587. Nevertheless, in the event that Ripple emerges triumphant in the litigation, the price of XRP has the potential to skyrocket and surpass its previous all-time high of $3. By deciding to establish its headquarters in Dubai International Financial Center, DIFT, in the year 2020, Ripple's shown its dedication to growing its presence in the region.